over the past week, I did the first one because I figured I might as well review the first one. I'd already seen it, but I was like, I'll just watch it again and review it. So I did that, and to sum that up, I thought it was fine. I thought it was better than fine. Like, it's a good movie. I like that one. It's definitely rewatchable. It's relatable. And then I was like, oh, there's a second one. And, like, it's doing pretty well at the movie theater. Like, I don't think it's going to top, like, it's definitely not going to top No Way Home. I don't even think it'll probably beat The Matrix, honestly. It probably will. But I was like, okay, fine. I guess I have time, so I went to see it this morning. I literally just got out of the theater and drove over here to film this, and then I'm going to drive back to go to work, but whatever. So consider subscribing to make my day a little better. But today we're going to be talking about Sing 2. Sing 2 was released in 2021, and it was written and directed by Garth Jennings. Now, no spoilers, but the general idea of the film is it takes place, I'd probably say a few years after the events of the first Sing movie. Now, this movie is released 5 years after the first movie, and I don't really think 5 years has passed, but I guess it's possible that it did. And essentially, they're trying to go to the big city, Retro City, and just go there and perform for everyone and be this big group of people and blah, 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 blah. And that's kind of the whole thing, is they kind of get themselves roped into this big event that they have to pull off, and it's not working. And I just want to say how familiar this feels to the first one. It feels like it's a copy of the first one with different elements. Like, I'll talk about Johnny for a little bit. He's the ape, and I like him a lot because I like Taron Egerton. I think he's great, and I just like his voice acting is really, really good. And the character is the most relatable to me. And basically, he just does what he does in the first film, except it's for dancing instead of piano. And it's really frustrating. It really is, because I'm just like, we literally, it's like they are trying to continue their character arcs and their character development, but they're just adding things that no one cares about. It's like, hey, you know how you liked that thing where he was trying to learn the piano and then he couldn't, and then he just did? Here it is again, and I hate to say that it kind of worked. Like, it kind of worked. I was like, oh, cool. Like, the ending battle was really cool with the dance fight with Johnny. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm getting into this. And I was like, oh, they just did the same thing they did to me in the first one. That's literally what they did. And it does it for every single character. Every single character. The new characters are better than the old characters, honestly. The new characters are really cool because we don't know anything about them. They're just, like, starting off their character arcs instead of just redoing something that they have already done. That's the main issue I had with the film, is it really does redo everything it had already done, and I just don't care. Like, I sat there, it was about half of the film, and I was like, wow, I don't care. Like, this is so long for me to just not care about something. It's like, don't you think that I would get attached to at least one of the characters? And I just really didn't. The characters are all kind of the same, they're all very similar, none of them are super interesting. And really what keeps you going is the music, which unfortunately there isn't a whole lot of, considering it's a movie called Sing. In the first Sing, there was songs everywhere all the time, and it was great. I loved that. This one feels like they were like, oh yeah, we need to put songs in here. Oops. like there are moments that are just empty, and you're like, they should be singing a song here about what's going on. That's kind of what happened in this first Sing movie. They took all this popular culture music, and they threw it in there in good moments, and they used it wisely. Here, they were like, oh, we need to sing a song about love? Here's this random song about love that doesn't make any sense in the context of the film. And I don't like that, because everything in the other film had a lot of contextual reasons for why they were singing this particular song. Whereas this one felt much more like they just needed a love song, so they Googled love songs and just grabbed the first one and put it into the movie. And it is unfortunate, because the better song placement might have been better here. And also more songs. If this is going to be a musical, make it a musical. Like, just do it. I think the voice acting was fine. I think particularly Scarlett Johansson was really good. I think Matthew McConaughey was really, really good. Taron Egerton was really good. Those were only the real standouts. I don't know. Judging voice acting is difficult because I never have a problem with it. Like, it's always like, okay, cool, fine. The only problem I have is, like, if it gets too noticeable, which, as somebody who has not watched a lot of Matthew McConaughey movies, I didn't really notice it was Matthew McConaughey, but I can see how somebody who does love Matthew McConaughey would be like, that's Matthew McConaughey. Like, I watched a movie with him in it last night, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like the koala from Sing. And, like, I like it. Like, I think he's a good actor. I think he's a good voice actor, too. I just couldn't help but notice it. It was a little frustrating. But I don't know. The movie itself is fine. I don't think it's just kind of fine. It's not spectacular. The animation's honestly a little bit worse than the first one. There's some pretty cool stuff with like a portal that comes out of things, and like for the show they're putting on, it's not actually tangibly there. But I thought it looked really cool. I don't know, but most of the animation didn't feel as real. Like in the first one, the animals felt pretty real. Like obviously they weren't, but like they seemed more real than in this one. In this one, they were like, okay, they're obviously cartoons. In the first one, there was like, oh, they're definitely cartoons, but like, are they? Like, I don't know. I wish it was a little bit more like the first one. I wish the animation was very similar to that, but they did kind of advance it a little bit. It does look more cartoonish. I was in a theater with a bunch of children, and the children seemed to like kind of like it. I mean, they were laughing occasionally, but not really a lot. I didn't laugh for basically the entire thing. There's this one moment where Miss Crawley is singing to Papa Roach or whatever, and I thought that was really fun, but I've already seen it in the trailer, so that kind of ruined it for me. If I had not seen that in the trailer, that would have cracked me up. But that's pretty much the only funny part in the film, in my opinion, that was like worth a laugh. But I don't know, it's not particularly fantastic. It's just kind of fine, and it's a good kids movie. And I realize it's not my demographic, so I'm going to judge it a little bit less harshly than I would if I were judging like a Spider-Man film. But I think it's just kind of a fine movie, and I'm going to go ahead and give Sing 2 a B-. Have you guys seen Sing 2? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about it. Please consider subscribing. It's a huge help. I'm taking out a lot of time in my day to do this, and I do have to go to work in 2 hours. An hour and a half, and I need to go get food. So I'm going to go edit this, upload this, do that, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.